Hi, this is Wally Taylor, physician for Texas Integrative Wellness in Austin, Texas. And I want to give you some important information about a problem that I see often in my clinic here in Austin of practicing environmental medicine. But before I go into that, I want to make a brief disclaimer. What I'm telling you today is not intended to be medical advice. I'm intending this for educational wellness purposes only, but please discuss the issues if they pertain to you with your own personal healthcare providers. So I see frequently people coming in with their youngsters that are concerned about an overlapping group of conditions that goes by a number of different names, but particularly PANDAS, PANS, ADD, ADHD. Some even talk about autistic spectrum disorder. But this is a group of symptoms, and I don't like people to get too caught up in the diagnostic terminology of this, because what I'm going to stress here is that the symptoms that we see in these group of children is very different from every case to case. And the reason that it's so different is because these various symptoms and syndromes are caused by the body's response to a whole group of environmental toxins, but particularly biological toxins. That would be infections by microbes and pathogens. But also, as I'll say later, there are roles that toxic chemical exposures and even toxic EMF or physical electromagnetic frequency exposures and heavy metals can get involved in this as well. But no two patients have exactly the same symptoms. But what we're talking about here is a group of symptoms that's seen anywhere from very young children up to adolescents, and even the whole concept does clearly go right on into adulthood, where it can have a little bit of a different, some different features. But we see a group of symptoms that includes speech disorders, learning disorders, motor and sensory developmental disorders, problems with focus and attention. We see a lot of behavioral problems, obsession, compulsion, anger, defiance. We see lots of digestive system disorders, diarrhea, constipation, lots of eating disorders. We see these children having very picky diets and almost obsessive, that they will not eat certain foods, very limited foods. Oftentimes these children will not take nutritional supplements. But this set of disorders, which has a number of different diagnostic names depending on who you see, is a lot of times in Western medicine treated primarily symptomatically with prescription medications. But what the science is beginning to really clearly demonstrate is that these symptoms are related to environmental toxic exposures, and they do have underlying root causes. Now, the root cause is almost never just one thing. It's almost always a combination of these various toxins and infections, which is really the main reason I think that we don't see any two patients with exactly the same symptom picture. And this is why there is oftentimes so much confusion. But when symptoms like this are appreciated, and I should say that oftentimes initially the symptoms of this disorder in any particular child can often begin very gradually, and at first can be almost imperceptible. Maybe just a little bit of odd or quirky behavior, perhaps just a little bit of clumsiness, or just a little bit of emotionality, maybe just a little bit of an unusual diet preference pattern. And then these symptoms often can really progress. But at times they can be rather sudden in onset, associated with a specific trigger. And that trigger, we find, can even be a traumatic life event, such as a death in the family or another similar life crisis. It's interesting too, but we often like to pay attention to the health of the other family members, particularly the mother, as there does seem to be a lot of correlations. Now, these symptoms we know are about 4 times more common in boys than they are in girls. But what we're learning now is that this group of symptoms, again, is related to toxins, with probably the most significant toxins being those coming from viruses, bacteria, yeast and molds, and even parasites. So one of the reasons I wanted to put this video out today was that there's an excellent reference that I would like to point everybody to if you're interested to learn more. There's a YouTube channel, the BetterHealthGuy. BetterHealthGuy, one word. Scott Forsgren is the creator of this video blog series, and just recently he put out a video blog where his guest was Maria Hong, and she had recently written a book called Brain Under Attack. She is a health coach who focuses on this group of patients. In the interview, which was a little bit over an hour, they go through these various conditions, the underlying root causes, and some strategies for managing some of these symptoms. So in my practice of environmental medicine in Austin, Texas, we see kids, but also we see adults with similar problems related to root cause environmental exposures. But in the adults, the symptoms are more consistent with chronic fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, depression, insomnia, often bowel symptoms of irritable bowel disorder, lots of immune systems, even so-called autoimmune, which I think is a misnomer because it's actually the immune system responding to a foreign invader, and the body is just getting caught up in the crossfire of that immune response or inflammation. But I just wanted to make this be the first or kind of an introductory video about this group of disorders, PANS, PANDAS, ADD, ADHD. And I'm going to be doing some additional videos in the future on this subject and related subjects. And I'll put them in a playlist under PANS and PANDAS. But I welcome you to check out the video blog from Maria Hong and the BetterHealthGuy. I think you'll find it very educational. By the way, BetterHealthGuy has some absolutely fantastic video blogs. He's up to number 88 in his series now, but he's got lots of great blogs about detoxification and mold toxins and chemical toxins and EMF toxins and the role of the brain's limbic system in many of these disorders. So if you have any questions about this, please comment or jump on my website and send me a message. Be happy to try to answer them for you in upcoming videos. Also, if you like the video, please consider subscribing to my channel and share it with friends and family. God bless and have a great day.